And if you don't have time to make beans from scratch,
you can easily just use a can like this or any other brand. It says pinto beans to make refried beans. I used bacon as my frying component instead of oil. But if you don't have bacon fat, you can always just use vegetable oil. Put in a pan, put some onion, and kind of saute it. Kind of saute the onion. This will give it a good flavor. And this is to make refried beans. So if you don't have time to make beans from scratch, you can always make your canned beans taste homemade as well. Having a little trouble with this guy. My heat is set on medium. Usually I cut up the onions and saute them, but my kids, like I said before, they do not like to see onions in their food as much as I try to hide them. I try to respect and show them that it's important to use onion in our food. But they don't necessarily have to eat the whole onion if they don't want. They could just dig it out. So I make big chunks and compromise them because I do like the flavor in my food. So there. I kind of chopped it up a little bit. I wasn't going to make a video about this, but I was in the middle of making some bacon, so we can use the fat to make our pinto beans refried. But I decided to show you that you can easily do it also with a can of beans. Sometimes I don't have 5 hours to make beans, and so I get a can and I refry some beans, and I want them to taste kind of homemade. I don't mind straight from the can, but you know, this is one way of making your beans taste extra good. And like I said, it doesn't have to have bacon. I know that is high cholesterol for a lot of people. You can use just ordinary vegetable oil. And it takes a minute or so for it to get a good saute it really good. I usually wait for it to get kind of see-through-ish. You don't want to burn the onion. That will sometimes I've burned my onion. I walk away and I come back and my onion is all black. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I dig out the onion right away and take it off the heat and put in my beans right away. And that kind of saves you from having to start all over. So as you can see here, the onions are pretty see-through. I'll just wait a little bit longer. In the meantime, what you want to do with your can here is, sorry for my dishes, is you want to drain most of the juice from the can, and not all of it, just most of it. You don't have to get too dry. Okay, so That looks pretty good. You could use more onion if you please. You can use less onion. Depends. I like to use usually a lot of onion, but today I just used a little piece. Like I said, I wasn't planning to do this video, but I figured why not? My kids want beans, and I want to keep my pinto beans I made homemade. So I thought I'd use this can. So the next step is we're going to pour our can into the pan here, and that's it. Now all we're going to do is kind of level it around. You can add salt if you'd like. Since I used bacon fat to make mine, I don't believe I need to add any more salt. But if you use oil, you can go ahead and use some salt, or if you just like the taste of salt. And then we're going to cover it. We're going to bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, these are pre-cooked pinto beans because they're from a can. Usually you just have to heat them up and then they're good to go. But to make refried beans, you want to let them sit here for a minute. They'll get softer. So once it comes to a boil, you will uncover them and get your masher like you were making mashed potatoes. One of these. Have it ready and handy. And once it's boiling, you just mash them up. Nothing more to do. You can sprinkle a little bit of Monterey Jack or the cheese of your choice. Sprinkle it on top and you're good to go. I'll show you the finished product once we're done. Thank you.
Now that the beans are done boiling, you can turn off the heat and start smashing them.
And remember, if a
If
kid can do
it, then so can you.
Thank you for watching.
Bye! Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button, and give this video a big thumbs up. Bye!
Thank you.